said it's going to hand down a judgment early next week. We're very encouraged by the lengthy discussion that took place at the end of the hearing about the form of remedy that the court would grant in the event that it was inclined to find in our favour. We're very happy with how the hearing has gone. We're incredibly grateful to the hard work of our legal teams, and we hope that democracy in the United Kingdom will be restored.
I think it's really important to understand that the court this afternoon have emphasised that this case is not about when and on what terms the United Kingdom will leave the European Union, if indeed it does. It's about whether or not it was lawful for Boris Johnson to suspend parliamentary democracy for 5 weeks. And like Jolyon, I'm very encouraged by the lengthy discussion this afternoon about the type of remedy the court should pronounce. As I said at the beginning, I remain of the view that I'm cautiously optimistic that the United Kingdom Supreme Court will follow the judgment of Scotland's Supreme Court and find that Boris Johnson's action was unlawful.
Can I just make one last statement? All of us, whatever side of the Brexit divide we are on, should be worried about a world in which a Prime Minister can suspend Parliament as an inconvenience. Those who support Boris Johnson's actions at the moment should be asking themselves the question how they would feel about a future Labour Prime Minister, perhaps Jeremy Corbyn, who did not any longer want to be subject to the constraints that Parliament might place upon his actions. How would they feel about this? This is not an issue about Brexit. This is an issue about who holds power in this country. Is it Parliament elected by the people, or is it a leader elected by a tiny number of members, self-selecting members of a particular political party?
Yeah, I think it's very important to reiterate what Scotland's Supreme Court said when Lord Drummond-Young said it's not the job of the judiciary to politically scrutinise the government, it's the job of Parliament and MPs like myself to politically scrutinise the government. But when the government suspends Parliament and prevents Parliament from doing its job, then it is possible for the judges to step in. The judges in Scotland are willing to step in, and I'm cautiously optimistic the judges of the UK Supreme Court will do likewise.
Joanna Cherry, BBC, can I just ask you, your chief of the government said this is forbidden territory, this is a minefield, the judges should not go into.
Well, I think the Scottish Court have already addressed why that's not the case. And of course, Lord Pannick, QC for Gina Miller, and our own legal team led by Aidan O'Neill, QC, have invited the Supreme Court to follow the persuasive reasoning of the Supreme Court of Scotland that this is a matter of legality, a matter of upholding democracy, and a matter of upholding the rule of law.
Can I just add this point? It's very, very difficult for me to understand how it can be said to be political for the Supreme Court to stop the Prime Minister suspending Parliament, but not political for the Supreme Court to allow the Prime Minister to suspend Parliament. What is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Plainly there are political consequences whichever way the court decides, but what is at stake here is a fundamental principle absolutely central to our constitutional makeup. And that principle is the supremacy of a parliament that is elected by the people.
And there's a suggestion, even if the court says this is unlawful, that the Prime Minister might just prorogue Parliament again.
Yeah, I mean, that was said earlier this week, and Richard Keane did not deny that that was the case. And I think that's why there has been such an anxious and lengthy discussion this afternoon about the sort of remedy the UK Supreme Court should pronounce if they find for the case I'm leading in and for Gina Miller.
What would you like to see happen if the judges here say this was unlawful? What should follow?
I would like the court to make as clear a statement as possible as to what should follow. In a normal functioning democracy, one would expect the Prime Minister to obey what the Supreme Court says, but we are not currently in a normal functioning democracy. We're in a democracy, in inverted commas, where a Prime Minister with no majority has suspended Parliament because it was getting in his way. So I would hope that the UK Supreme Court will be as clear as they possibly can be about the consequences of their decision should they find in our favour. Parliament should come back as soon as possible, and if the prorogation has been ruled to be unlawful by this court, then the prorogation will have been void and we should go back to the position we were in a week last Monday when Parliament was prorogued. All the committees should be back up and running, all the bills that fell should be back before the House, all the question sessions should be back up and running, and MPs should be able to bring urgent questions and urgent debates as they did before. Parliament should go back to its normal job in a normal functioning democracy of holding the government to account. That's what my constituents elected me to do. That's what they elected my colleagues who brought this action to do. And no amount of booing and shouting is going to prevent us from doing that. Well, we're in the hands of the Supreme Court now, and we have to find out what ruling they make. But that's why I'm so hopeful that their ruling will be as clear as possible about the consequences of their ruling, so that there can be no room for manoeuvre and no room for any more dirty tricks from Boris Johnson.
There is a period of 5 days prescribed by the Northern Ireland Executive Formation Act that begins, if I recall correctly, on the 14th of October, during which Parliament will sit come what may, and those 5 days might well be used by Parliament to enact emergency legislation to remove from an autocratic Prime Minister the right to treat Parliament as a mere inconvenience that he can set aside when politically expedient for him so to do. I very much hope Parliament will use those valuable 5 days to deliver that end result. One further point, the Prime Minister's been very clear that he wants us to leave with a deal. Under the terms of the 2018 Withdrawal Act, there is an awful lot to do that will take a substantial period of time. That work must begin immediately, otherwise we will, whatever the Prime Minister wishes, leave without a deal on the 31st.